What is going on, guys? This is Michael Williams from Cartoon Universe, and it is time. Star is finally back. The 2 weeks of craziness, they are beginning now. Really strong start with Star. I am not here with Haley. Unfortunately, she like we mentioned in the last discussion, she is getting completely bodied with school, so it is just me today. So you're stuck alone with me. But yeah, these are really good episodes. They're very strong. I like them both pretty much equally, just for different reasons, pretty much. The first one was obviously very lighthearted, but it made sense. I like the way that they kind of found a way to make a lighthearted, fun episode for the most part, but also just kind of have it make sense. Like, it's not a forced lighthearted episode. It's just there because it makes sense to be there. You know what I mean? They're not just doing like, oh, we need a fun little side episode that has nothing to do with anything. Like, it actually does have a lot to do with anything. It's something because first off, the hoodie continuity, but also, you know, it's a good learning lesson for the youngins and for the oldins, if that's even a word out there. You know, you don't need specific items or tokens to remember someone or something by. You'll always have them in your heart. So yeah, this was a really good episode, really good moral lesson. It was genuinely, I want to say emotional, but it was heartfelt. It was very heartfelt, very cute, and it was very funny. It was a really good episode. I feel like for these 2 episodes, they really nailed down the comedy more than they've ever really have. Now, that's not to say that they didn't before. You know, the show was definitely funny, but this is like, I feel like their comedy was stepped up, and I'm guessing maybe they're stepping up their jokes even more so for this season. I think the last like really funny episode was when Star destroyed the school mascot. That was absolutely hilarious and ridiculous, but there're just like a lot of little moments throughout this episode and the following episode that are just really comedic. A couple things to note. Obviously, Marco does end up leaving. This is right after Battle for Muni, so he's going back to Earth. He can't just stay in Muni. He has school and family and friends and Jackie waiting for him back home, so he's not going to just stick around. But Star is going to stick around. She has a lot of mess to clean up here. Eclipse is on the way, which I don't think she's fully aware of that as of right now, but she does have to kind of help the kingdom get back to its former glory. I don't know if Star is planning on this being temporary or not. Obviously, they're gonna, you know, get back together in some way, shape, or form. Eventually, obviously, Marco and Star are not going to be separated for that long. But as far as the characters go, I don't know what exactly they're planning on doing now that Toffee is quote-unquote defeated. We don't know if he's actually gone for good. But yeah, Marco is leaving Earth, or he's leaving Muni, and he actually gets a cape from King River. And actually, Ultra Vox from the Round Table was actually kind of speculating that he did get this cape as kind of like a thank you from the Mumins for helping defeat Toffee and being such a great ally and all that stuff. So this is kind of confirming that. And it's kind of like a little nod to Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon, because we do get a lot of Sailor Moon references. This is a lot of Sailor Moon influence in the show, as you probably know. So this is probably a little nudge throwback to that. We do see Marco's dimensional scissors as he is about to leave, and we get a very awkward goodbye between Star and Marco, and it's very uncomfortable to watch. It's basically cringe-inducing. Star's really sad. She's crying. It's just it's not fun. But it'll be okay because it's a cartoon and everything usually works out in the end, except for, you know, Lekman. And Moon and River actually give themselves a little look because they know exactly what's going on. All these teenage feels. So Star can actually just make her room wherever she wants. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if she needs a building per se to do that, or if she can just do that wherever, literally. But it's exact same room. She can just manifest it wherever she wants to manifest it. So that's pretty cool. And Marco does ask if she's seen his hoodie. She lies. She says no. And obviously she does have it. And this episode is basically what I predicted. She's smelling Marco's dirty, nasty hoodie because she's a weirdo like that. You know, she's missing Marco, and she feels like this is her only piece of Marco left. So she doesn't want to wash it. She wants to keep it pure and wholesome, if that's what you want to call it. Funnyhead shows up. She's not having it. She throws that hoodie down the laundry chute, and we get a very funny exchange with the Night of the Wash. I actually really love this character. He's like one of my favorite side characters in a long time. He takes his job so seriously. It's just like I mentioned before, the comedy aspect of this episode is just really on point. And he's a big component of that. Star is trying to fight to get her hoodie back. Dude refuses because it is his duty. It is his sworn duty. He swore to his family and all that good stuff that he was going to wash dirty clothes. This is very serious business. But Star's not having it. And then the dude, kind of low key, talks smack. And then Ponyhead is all of a sudden on Star's side. So now they're both fighting to get the hoodie back. But yeah, this is basically what I predicted when I saw the first promo where the knight was getting shot. He had the dirty hoodie. So I'm guessing since the episode was called Send Up Hoodie, that's probably exactly what this episode was. And I was correct. Nice little humble brag there. So they're chasing him down the wash is absolutely insane. It looks like a Disney ride. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it looks like a Small World-esque type of ride. Made me feel very nostalgic. And we see Star using some new power, which was a tentacle wave, which I don't think we've ever seen that, so that was interesting. But she learns that she's taken it too far, and she doesn't need the hoodie to, smell exactly like how it was left to remember Marco. She doesn't need that. She can just do it within her heart. He cleans the hoodie, and he smells it like a weirdo, and gives it to Star, whose cheek marks are broken. She's all pouty. And she gets the hoodie, and she still smells like Marco, I guess, for some reason. It's just in her heart, she sends the hoodie to Marco, and apparently Marco thinks the hoodie smells like Star. And then he starts smelling. It's like, oh no, the feels. I can't do this. So yeah, that was a really good episode. I enjoyed that. I wonder if there's some undertones there with Marco sniffing Star's hoodie, if he has some low-key romantic feelings that aren't really manifesting themselves, because usually you would only smell like a piece of clothing or something like that and like really kind of like it and feel a warm feeling, usually if that's a person you're romantically interested in. So that might be a little subtle hint, or maybe he just misses Star. That's totally reasonable as well. And then here we go, right from that lighthearted episode, and bam, funeral. It's time. So yeah, this is really tragic. We actually have a fully 100% dead minor character, but still a notable character nonetheless. Lekmet is 100% dead. We knew this already. Queen Moon confirmed this in Battle for Muni, but now we are at his funeral. We see a portrait of him looking all conflustered. So they're doing their standard funeral goodness of crying and also kind of laughing about memories and giving toasts. And all of a sudden, Star sees the punch bowl moving, and she sees Glossaryck, and it's like, whoa, how am I seeing Glossaryck? Queen Moon tells her, hey, chill out, bro. It's all good. You're not seeing Glossaryck. You're just tripping. And once again, going back to the comedy, we see Lekmet's friends, and it's really dramatic zoom in with the organ player just staring at the camera. It was just, like I said, they're really up in their game, and it's all pretty much visual comedy for the most part. At least this episode was just a lot of little subtle visual things that were just very funny. Star just kind of goes home, and she keeps seeing all these creepy, haunting visions of Glossaryck. So she calls the only person she knows that can help her with a haunting, and that is Jana. Of course, she's into all that death and afterlife stuff. She's a creep. Everyone in the show is a creep. She's just chilling, eating a burrito. It looks like it's daytime, so I guess the time zones work differently in the different dimensions, it looks like, because Star is the middle of the night for Star, or it's, she's about to go to bed. So that's very interesting. I don't know if we ever actually knew that. That may have been confirmed in the book or something, but that is definitely news for me. So that's a nice little tidbit right there. And she tells her that she has to bury any piece of Glossaryck she left behind, and turns out she did end up keeping a little piece of the book that they found after it was burned, after Toffee managed to burn the book, or Toffee Ludo. So she said she has to bury it. Turns out she buries it in a pet cemetery, which is... that's not very gooch. That is bad news bears. So that's going to make the haunting worse. She calls Jana. Jana's like, yeah, you're making the haunting worse. And we finally see Jackie. We see Jackie for the first time this season. She has absolutely no dialogue. But Marco, Jackie, and Jana are hanging out at the table. So this is pretty interesting because Jackie is not in the intro at all. So obviously we are going to see her. We did know that. We did get that confirmed, I believe, by Darren FC a little while ago, that Jackie was going to show up. I don't know if this is literally all we're going to see of Jackie the entire season. That would be pretty insane, because we do know that most of the season seems like it's going to focus more so on Star on Uni for the most part. Obviously, we do probably have a Marco episode down the line, which will probably involve Jackie in some way. But I don't know. This is pretty interesting that Jackie's just there and not saying anything. So we're just going to kind of gloss over that. We're not going to deal with the Starco nonsense right now. And I'm very surprised, actually, that going back to Son of Hoodie, that they didn't address that at all. I guess it wasn't the right time because her parents were there. So it's like, why would you talk about that, you know? Janice basically says, you know, you need to bury the thing in a sacred place where Glossaryck would want to be, something that means a lot to Glossaryck. So she takes the piece of the book to the fountain where they, you know, healed the High Commission, and he's just kind of staring at her, and she's having a moment. And again, very heartfelt, very genuine and emotional. She's just kind of talking about her complicated feelings with Glossaryck and how he made her feel like annoyed, and he was very difficult all the time and never told her stuff straight up, but he also kind of really believed in her and he was always there for her. She just kind of took that time to kind of reflect, and it was mostly for herself. And she says, "Thank you, Glossaryck, for all that you've done." And he finally disappears. And this is a very, very real moment, because this is something that a lot of people, I'm sure, have experienced when they're mourning. Sometimes for certain people, it can be complicated and you have to kind of work out your feelings yourself. They didn't really hit you over the head with it. It was just a moment, and they just kind of did it. And for those, you know, who understand that type of thing, they can see that. And those who didn't, it wasn't like intruding. It was also just character development. So it was really, really well written. I really appreciate how they did that. But as she said thank you, the golden water absolutely floods the place, and she comes back running to her parents, and Glossaryck's back. He's there. He's a lost little puppy. So obviously he's talking in weird nonsense. He's just saying absolute gibberish so far. So that kind of goes back to what we were saying before in the promo. We did see that Glossaryck was tied on a leash, and his eyes are messed up. So, and we saw in this picture, his eyes are totally messed up. So it looks like something's wrong with him. I don't know how that brought him back. Not sure why Star saying thank you in the fountain brought him back. I guess because it was the piece of the book. So maybe she needs a whole book, I'm guessing. Actually, I just thought of this theory just now. I'm guessing that since it was only one piece of the book, only one piece of Glossaryck was able to be revived, since Glossaryck is like, he lives in the book. He's like basically an extension of the book, essentially. So this is just a piece of Glossaryck. So that's why he's all messed up. So maybe they have to kind of rebuild the book some way, or make a new book or something like that. We did see that there was, you know, the High Commission was with Star as Star was holding him on the leash in the old promo, the first promo. So I'm assuming that whatever mission they're going on probably has to do with, you know, hopefully getting Glossaryck back to normal, I'm assuming, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we knew that Glossaryck was coming back. We knew he wasn't dead. So one character's dead, but one character is sort of kind of alive. He's just kind of in a messed up state. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Glossaryck. Really strong start. The next episodes are going to be even more crazy, guys, because we got Club Snubbed and Stranger Danger, my boy. So Club Snubbed, it is Tom snubs Star at the Silver Bell Ball. And then Star meets the ancient Queen Eclipsa. Let's go. It's time. It's finally time. We're getting Eclipsa like almost right off the bat. So this is absolutely insane. I'm assuming some of the Glossaryck stuff might happen during one of these episodes. Probably the second one, I feel like. Club Snubbed is obviously the clip we got at San Diego Comic-Con with Star and Tom dancing. So I don't think that's a flashback then, I'm assuming. I thought it was a flashback, but it's looking like it's probably not a flashback. So really dope stuff. Really great episodes. Like I said, super funny, super heartfelt, emotional, straight to the point, character development, even the lighthearted stuff. It made sense in terms of the story. It wasn't a forced like side episode that had nothing to do with anything. They all made sense and all accumulated together into something that was concise, and it was great, and I love it, and I can't wait to see what happens the rest of this week and next week. It's gonna be absolutely insane. I can't even talk. I'm so hyped. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do a review, the next day and the next day reviews for Star. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Michael Williams. You've been watching Cartoon Universe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.